privilege speech, assuming na sumobra ng prosecution. So ano pong masasabi niyo doon?
Well, siguro lahat ng ito ginagawa ng mga senator judges upang maging maayos, upang magkaroon ng talagang maganda at maayos na direksyon yung paglilitis natin. Sapagkat tapos na ho, mahigit isang buwan na ho tayo nandito, ano? Marami hong mga distractions na nangyayari. Siguro ho itong opinion ni Senator Judge Santiago ay talaga hong ninanais lang na maibalik, no, dun sa tamang paraan at tamang proseso yung impeachment.
You may please take your seat, Madam Witness.
Thank you, sir.
Magandang hapon po, Dr. Cervantes.
Magandang hapon rin ho, Attorney Lim, and magandang hapon ho sa inyong lahat.
Kindly state, ma'am, your full name, your address, and your occupation.
Ako po si Dr. Juliet Gopez Cervantes. Ako po ay nakatira sa 9th Street, Rolling Hills, New Manila, Quezon City. At ako po ay isang manggagamot.
Your Honor, please, we are presenting the witness, Dr. Juliet Gopez Cervantes, as our own witness, but only as an ordinary witness. We are respectfully offering her testimony for the purpose of proving that she issued a medical certificate dated October 1, 2011, relative to the health condition of former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo.
What date is that?
October 1, 2011, Your Honor.
Okay.
Your Honor, as records show, we would like to manifest that this medical certificate was submitted to the Supreme Court as Annex I to the petition for TRO in GR number 199034 filed by the former President. May I proceed, Your Honor?
Proceed.
Dr. Cervantes, did you receive a subpoena in relation to this hearing?
Yes, sir.
And is that the reason why you are here?
Opo.
Do you know former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo?
Yes, sir.
Why do you know her, ma'am?
Ako po ay siyang pinaka-main attending physician ng former President every time he went to St. Luke's Medical Center from Quezon City and lately in Global. And I was the main attending from 2006 to December 2011. So for 5 years, I've been the main attending physician of the former president.
Can you kindly explain what exactly you do or you have done as main attending physician for the former president? What exactly do you mean by that, ma'am?
Sir, I am a gastroenterologist and a hepatologist, meaning I specialize in the gastrointestinal tract and most especially in the liver. In 2006, the former president developed diarrhea, and the family decided that she be brought to St. Luke's Medical Center in Quezon City. So being the main attending of the former gentleman, Mike Arroyo, and her problem was in gastroenterology, she was referred to me to attend to her diarrhea. And from then on, even there were occasions that the problem was no longer in gastroenterology, neither in the liver, because I started her as or I started as her main physician, whether it is in gastroenterology or other problems, it was decided that I will be the main attending doctor. That if there are occasions or there were occasions that the problem is no longer in my field of specialty, then I refer to the different subspecialties depending on what the problem was. So as the main attending, I chose, I evaluate the case, I evaluate the problem, and if I saw the need that it is beyond my specialty as gastroenterologist or a hepatologist, I refer the problem to the different subspecialties and then decide as whom to refer the problem and ultimately summarize everything and then come up with a decision, whatever it is, whether in the diagnosis or in the management.
Madam Witness, do you recall having attended to the former President, Honorable Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, in the month of July 2009, August 2009, and also in September 2009? I'm sorry, 2011, July of 2011, August of 2011, and September of 2011. My apologies, Doctora.
It was, yes, sir.
For what ailments?
Okay. Mainly for the problem in the neck.
Yes, ma'am.
She was admitted because of the severe neck pains.
Can you please state for the record the dates of confinement of the former president?
If Your Honor, please, at this juncture, may we place this observation on record, Your Honor. There is a categorical statement on the part of the prosecutor that the Madam Witness, Your Honor, is being presented as an ordinary witness. We notice, however, that practically from the start, she is testifying along medical lines, Your Honor. We would like to know how...
She's being presented as a doctor and as an ordinary witness testifying on general medical matters. So, let her answer.
Can you kindly answer the question, ma'am? I just would like to request you to state for the record the dates of confinement or hospitalization of the former president in 2011. Specifically, July 2011, August 2011, and also September 2011.
She was admitted July 25, 2011 to August 5, 2011. And then she was readmitted on she was readmitted on September 20 and then discharged the following day, September 21.
In the subpoena, Dr. Cervantes, you were required to bring and produce the original and certified true copies of the medical certificate dated October 1, 2011, which you issued on the medical condition of former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. Did you bring that medical certificate, Doctora?
Yes, sir.
Witness, Your Honor, please, handing to counsel a one-page document captioned medical certificate with the handwritten notation at the bottom left-hand portion printed from the computer file on February 17, 2011, Friday, followed by a signature which this representation cannot read. Your Honor, I would like to ask these questions to the witness. Madam Witness, I noticed that this medical certificate which you have produced and which you have just handed to this representation is an unsigned copy. And I also noticed that it is merely a printout on a one-page bond paper without any letterhead. Can you please explain why this is unsigned?
Sir, because that was a print from the computer, because the original copy is with the former president. When we issued that medical certificate, the former president was already discharged. So there was no duplicate copy that we made because it was issued on an outpatient basis. And I did not realize that I will end up this way in front of the court. That is why I did not Xerox the outpatient medical certificate. But it is in my computer. So when I was asked to bring the said medical certificate, I printed a copy. And I will be able to recognize the duplicate if ever I will see it, even if I have no signature, on that medical certificate that I'm bringing.
We'll have no objection to the authentication of that document, Your Honor.
Thank you. Thank you.
Just to make it easier for you.
Thank you, Mr. Justice. There is a signature at the bottom of the handwritten notation which I read earlier, printed from the computer file on February 17, 2011, Friday. Whose signature is this, ma'am?
It's mine, sir.
They have already admitted the authenticity of that document, counsel.
Yes, Your Honor. We would like to
Only
request...
for the detailed presentation, go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor. We would like to request, Your Honor, that this medical certificate be marked in evidence as the prosecution's exhibit Decapol N, as in Nancy, Your Honor.
Mark it accordingly.
We would also like to request, Your Honor, that the penultimate paragraph in this medical certificate containing the phrase...
Please read the entire penultimate paragraph.
Thank you, Your Honor. The penultimate paragraph, Your Honor, reads as follows, quote, Ms. Macapagal Arroyo has metabolic bone disease and osteoporosis due to hypoparathyroidism with electrolyte imbalance and vitamin D deficiency. The Minerva brace should remain in place for at least 3 months, and barring any complications, she should be fully recovered from her spine surgery in 6 to 8 months. Her metabolic bone disease needs lifetime maintenance treatment. The last paragraph reads, issued and signed on October 1, 2011 at Taguig City, Philippines, Juliet Gopez Cervantes, MD, gastroenterologist, hepatologist, main attending physician. End of quote, Your Honor. That is all for the witness, Your Honor.
Cross.
Your Honor, please, I just would like to elicit an admission from my colleague in the prosecution as to whether he admits that these matters taken up today are involved in the Supreme Court case of restraining in connection with the restraining order. If they are, I have no cross.
I will readily admit and stipulate, Your Honor, that the medical certificate, the penultimate and last paragraphs of which were read into the record, was submitted by former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo as Annex I.
No.
I to her petition for TRO in GR number 199034.
Do you admit that this is involved
In
in a
that-
pending case in the Supreme Court.
That's the request for admission.
Yeah.
Well, the matters mentioned therein, Your Honor, are before the court and subject even of
Pending.
the dissenting opinion of Justice Sereno.
No, do you admit that that is involved in a pending case in the Supreme
Before
Court?
the Supreme Court.
If you don't, you don't.
The medical certificate, yes, it is there, Your Honor, in the Supreme Court.
The defense,
Madam Witness, no cross. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
the witness is discharged.
Thank you.
Thank you rin po.
Your next witness for the prosecution.
Thank you po. Our next witness po will be presented by Representative Raul Dasa, Your Honor, Ms. Emma Abanador, Your Honor. May we request for a 1 minute suspension while we get the
Trial
witness po.
suspended for 1 minute to allow the witness to come in.
Thank you po.
Is the witness in? Huh? Session resumed.
Madam Witness, please stand up and raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this impeachment proceeding?
I do.
So help you God.
Proceed. Your witness.
With the permission of the impeachment court, Mr. President, the witness is here simply to identify and authenticate certain documents that have already been pre-marked.
Proceed.
Would you please state your name and personal circumstances?
I am Mrs. Emma Abanador from the Office of the Vice President of the Philippines. I am at present the Chief Administrative Officer of the Office of the Vice President.
Mrs. Amador, a subpoena ad testificandum et duces tecum was served on you to bring to the court certified true copy of the personal record file of the Chief Justice, the respondent in this case, while he was employed with the Office of the Vice President. Did you bring those documents with you?
Yes, sir. I have submitted that last February 23 at the legal officer of the Senate.
Mr. President, request permission to approach the witness.
Proceed, you may.
I'm showing to you these documents marked on February 23, pre-marked rather, on February 23, 2012, which are exhibits Octopole A. Ano ba tayo? Decapole. Oh, sorry, Mr. President. Decapole A, Decapole B, Decapole C, Decapole D, Decapole E, Decapole F, Decapole G, Decapole H, Decapole I, Decapole J, Decapole K, Decapole L, and Decapole M. All right. Would the defense counsel stipulate that these pre-marked exhibits are a true and faithful copy of the originals that were brought by the witness on February 23?
We admit, Your Honor, that they are genuine reproduction of the.
Thank you.
You mean
Thank you, Mr.
all
Justice.
the documents brought by the witness
Thank you.
are genuine documents?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
May I just put on record the titles of these documents? Decapole M, Certificate of Service. No. From what? Pagsunod-sunodin nga natin. Pagsunod-sunodin lang natin. Exhibit Decapol A, Special Order number 2000-19, signed by then Vice President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. Exhibit Decapol B, Consultancy Agreement, dated January 24, 2001. Exhibit Decapol C, Certificate of Service for the month of January 2001. Exhibit Decapol D, Consultancy Agreement, dated May 24, 2000. Exhibit Decapol F, Certificate of Service. I withdraw that. Exhibit Decapol E, Certificate of Service for the month of December 2000. Exhibit Decapol F, Certificate of Service for the month of November 2000. Exhibit Decapol G, Certificate of Service for the month of October 2000. Exhibit Decapol H, Certificate of Service for September 2000. Exhibit Decapol I, Certificate of Service for August 2000. Exhibit Decapol J, Certificate of Service for July 2000. Exhibit Decapol K for the month of June 2000. Exhibit Decapol L, Certificate of Service for the month of May 2000. Exhibit Decapol M for the month of April 2000. All of these certificates of service contain the signature of Consultant Renato Secorana. I have no further question of the witness, Mr. President.
Cross?
Good afternoon, ma'am. No cross, Your Honor.
No
Thank
cross?
you. May I request that the witness may now discharge, Mr. President?
The witness is discharged. Next witness.
Thank you, Your Honors. Then our next witness, Your Honor, will be presented by Private Prosecutor Attorney Al Pareño. Your Honor, please.
Attorney Alparino has the floor.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, our next witness is Mr. Edmond Lasalla. May we ask the Secretary to please call Mr. Lasalla to the witness stand, Your Honor.
Please call the witness to enter the chamber.
Mr. Witness, please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this impeachment proceeding?
Yes, po.
So help you God.
Your Honor, may I proceed?
Proceed.
Mr. Witness, please state your name and other circumstances.
Ako po si Edmond Andes Leosala. Nakatira po sa Unit 9F, El Jardín del Presidente 2, Quezon City, Sergeant Esguerra. Ako po ay empleyado ng ABS-CBN News, ABS-CBN Broadcasting Corporation. Ako po isang news cameraman.
Your Honors, we are offering the testimony of the witness Edmond Lasalia to prove the following material allegations found in the complaint, including the following.
This is under Article 7?
Yes, Your Honor, this is under Article 7, Your Honor.
Yeah, proceed.
To identify and authenticate the video recordings he took on November 15, 2011, to prove that the November 15 Supreme Court TRO in favor of Gloria Macapagal Arroyo mandated that she fulfill 3 conditions before she can leave, to prove that respondent, through Midas Marquez, coordinated with GMA's lawyer to ensure that GMA can leave on November 15, 2011, to prove that respondent Corona, using his administrative powers as Supreme Court Chief Justice, extended office hours so that the TRO conditions can be fulfilled by GMA and thus allow GMA and the then first gentleman to leave. To prove that respondent Midas Marquez misled the public into believing that the TRO is effective when it is not. To prove that respondent distorted the effectivity of the TRO to make it effective even if GMA failed to comply with the conditions, and other related matters, Your Honor. May we proceed, Your Honor?
Proceed.
Mr. Witness, saan po kayo nagtatrabaho?
Sa ABS-CBN Broadcasting Corporation po.
Bilang ano po?
Bilang cameraman po ng news.
Kailan po kayo naging cameraman?
1994 pa po.
At hanggang ngayon po ay cameraman po rin po kayo. Ano po ang trabaho ng isang cameraman?
Nagko-cover po kami ng mga issues, mga news issues, mga iba't iba pong istorya ng buhay related po sa mga coverage po ng aming kumpanya.
At saan po ang inyong beat?
Ako po yung naka-beat sa Justice Department, sa Department of Justice and Supreme Court po.
At noong buwan ng November 2011, saan po ang inyong beat?
Sa Department of Justice po.
Noong November 15, 2011, nasaan po kayo noon?
Sa Department of Justice po.
Sa Department of Justice lang po?
Apa.
Nasa Supreme Court din po ba kayo ng mga panahong iyon?
Once na meron pong storya po sa Supreme Court, tsaka lang na po kami pupunta.
At ano pong ginagawa niyo doon sa Supreme Court noong November 15, 2011?
Pag may storya po, nagpupunta po kami doon once may mga press con or interview. Pero after po noon, babalik na po kami doon sa Department of Justice.
Kayo po ay nandito dahil sa isang subpoena, tama po ba?
Opo.
At ayon po sa subpoena na binigay po sa inyong kumpanya, kayo po ay natasang magdala rin po ng 3 videos, tama po ba ito?
Opo.
Nasaan po ang mga videos po na ito ngayon?
Pinadala na po dito po.
Ipapakita ko sa inyo ang unang video. May tagal ito na 23 minutes and 17 seconds.
Yes,
panuurin mo itong mabuti at sabihin mo sa amin kung ano relasyon ng video na ito sa video yung unang pinadala namin sa inyo.
We will object, Your Honor, with the...
What's the ground of the objection?
There is no showing. There is no basis. There is no showing that it was he who took it and that it was really taken on the day, as specifically mentioned and for the purpose, as enunciated by the witness.
Can you reform your question, please?
Actually, Your Honor, sige po. Kayo po, nasabi niyo po kanina na andun kayo no November 15, 2011. Ano po ang ginawa po ninyo doon?
Beg, Your Honor. Saan yun doon?
Bilang isang cameraman po.
The question doon. Saan po?
Let him answer.
Yun po yung regular beat po namin sa Department of Justice po. Kaya po kami nandun dahil po everyday po kaming may regular na coverage po doon. At kung ano po yung magiging issue, yun po yung kinukunan namin.
Nabanggit niyo po kanina na nasa Supreme Court din po kayo nung panahon ninyo. Ano pong ginagawa niyo doon sa Supreme Court?
Once na meron pong press con or mga nagpupunta po kami doon.
At noong November 15, 2011, meron po bang press con na nangyari po noon?
Meron po.
Sino po ang nag-press con?
Nagpa-press con po si Attorney Maidas Marquez. Nagbigay po siya ng statement.
At ano po ang ginawa nyo habang siya ay nagpe-press con?
Nag-set up po kami ng camera, tripod, and audio. At para po ma-cover namin, ma-on record po ang statement na pinahayag niya.
At nabanggit nyo kanina na kayo nagpadala ng video dito. Ito ho ba yung video na nakunan ninyo?
Yung pong video 1 po na pinadala namin.
So, Your Honor, may we now present the video that was described by the witness.
Why don't you show it to the witness first so that she can verify whether that is indeed the video that he was referring to?
Yes, Your Honor, we have the screen right here, Your Honor, and we have already
Proceed.
coordinated with the court. Your Honor, for identification purposes, this video, previously marked as Exhibit Octuple T, described in the Senate subpoena as a video of the press conference of Supreme Court Maidas Marquez on November 15, 2011 at approximately 1:30 p.m. We request that the compact disc previously marked as Exhibit Octuple T be presented and the time period from 0 to 13 minutes be shown. Maybe can you please play to the Secretariat? Your Honor, may we ask the Secretariat to please
non-extendable period of 3 days, and an oral argument is being called to be held on November 22. That's next Tuesday at 2 p.m. The TRO is being issued with the following conditions: that a cash bond of 2 million should be paid, and both first gentleman and the former president are supposed to appoint their legal representative, who should receive all processes, including subpoenas and other legal documents. And if they leave and they go to a place or to a country where there is a Philippine embassy or a Philippine consulate, they should either call or report in person just to inform our embassy or consulate that they are in the country, in that particular country. Okay. So that's the voting is 8-5. So the 5 dissenters are Justices Carpio, Mendoza, Sereno, Reyes, and Bernabe. We only have 13 justices who decided this order, because 2 are on leave, namely Justices De Castro and Del Castillo.
As what?
Again, let me repeat the conditions set by the court for the issuance of the TRO: a bond in cash of 2 million pesos, the appointment of their legal representative here in the Philippines, who could receive all their all legal processes, including subpoenas, and that they should report or inform our consular office or embassy in the place that they are going to, should they decide to
At
leave.
this juncture, Your Honor, with the indulgence of the Honorable Court, may we be informed as to the purpose of this video playing?
Consolidated. This case has been consolidated.
What is the question?
May we be informed as to the purpose, Your Honor, of
Well,
the playing?
the watch, that means that
Can we pause
circular
the video,
41
please?
cannot be applied to them.
Your Honor, as stated in our
Will you
offer,
kindly answer the question of the defense?
yes, Your Honor, as we stated in the offer, this video is being presented to show that the TRO on November 15, and this was taken, Your Honor, at around 1 to 2 p.m., the TRO was stated as being suspensive, meaning, Your Honor, that according to this press conference, Your Honor, Maidas Marquez will state that GMA has to fulfill 3 conditions first before she can leave.
But this is,
Let the West,
may we make a counter statement, Your Honor?
yes.
This is allegedly a press conference held by Attorney Marquez, Your Honor. We do not see any relevance or importance because the impeachment here is against the Chief Justice Corona, Your Honor. Whatever he may say
Well,
cannot be said to be binding upon the Supreme
I
Court.
will
Your
allow
Honor.
the witness to answer. Let the prosecutor develop their evidence, and we will see as we go along.
Thank you, Your Honor. Can we please play the video again?
No. Upon filing these conditions, no? Or once they are able to comply with these conditions, then they can leave already. Well, consistent with the granting of TROs, no? They were able to show that they were entitled to the relief prayed for, and that is the TRO, and the continuance of their inclusion in the watch list order would probably work injustice to them. Of course, this is consistent with the constitutional presumption of innocence.
Will the court take full responsibility for it?
Tumakas saan?
Well,
there are remedies. No? And again, we might be speculating on that. No? But there are remedies available if and that should happen.
Sir, when the court granted the TRO to Mr. Arroyo previously, there were no conditions. How come ngayon, sir, iba yung naging trato dun sa couple?
Well, of course, that case of Mr. Arroyo is different, no, from the case that is being heard by the court at this time. No? The factual circumstances are different. The reasons are different. No? In that particular case, the watch list order was merely based on an invitation from the Senate, no, which eventually was withdrawn. Which eventually was withdrawn anyway. No? In this particular case, there are a number of cases, no, that the government is saying that they will be filing. So these are two different circumstances. That is not unusual, no? In TROs, in the granting of TROs, there is normally a bond, no, that is required of the parties.
Sir, considering that there is that condition for them to either report or call the consulate or the embassy, that also means that the court took into consideration government's argument that the offenses charged are non-bailable, carries the penalty of life imprisonment.
Well, there is actually no case yet, and that is since there is no case yet, then because of the government's allegation that they are going to leave or flee, then we just have to put some measures, no? Just to let us know, the court, no? Just to let the court know that really they are in the place they are saying they are. That is right. The TRO issued by the Supreme Court is indefinite until lifted by the court itself. That means the court can lift the TRO anytime.
Government prosecutors, what happens when government prosecutors a full departure order from the case?
Well, that is a totally different issue. We're only talking about the present case filed by Oh no, this TRO of the Supreme Court is only addressed to the Department of Justice. No? and to the Commission on Immigration. It is not addressed to any lower court. Yes. Cash, cash.
Injustice sa dating first couple yung application ng Department of Social Photo.
No, hindi ko sinabi yun. Sinabi ko, it might probably work as an injustice to them. Yung continuing inclusion of their persons in the watch list order without any case being filed against them.
Sir, question. Consolidated yung cases, isa lang justice in charge. Did the justice in charge recommend a TRO or did he not, but the court chose?
Well, if you will remember, no, this case or these twin petitions were filed Wednesday?
Monday.
Last week?
November 8th.
No.
November 8th.
Tuesday? Tuesday. The court waited until its first en banc session so that all the justices can participate. And after a thorough deliberation, we have the voting at 8-5. So there were 5 justices who were of the belief that the TRO should not yet be issued at this moment. Well, if the court requires them to appear before the court and they do not, that can be a cause for the forfeiture of that bond.
Sir, back to my question. Did the justice in charge recommend a TRO or did he or she not, but the court?
First, I am not.
Based on the rules,
to begin with, no, I'm not at liberty to divulge who the justice in charge is. So I wouldn't know if he or she recommended for the issuance of a TRO.
Sir, kapag nakapag-file ng kaso yung DOJ o kayo ng Justice Arroyo, possible ba na i-lift yung TRO?
Pag nag-file ng kaso ang prosecution, no, in a regular court, then that is an altogether different issue.
Pwedeng maging ground siya para i-lift yung TRO?
Well, that court can also issue its own processes. So let's leave it to that court to issue whatever order or processes that court would like to issue.
Meaning to say, sir, in the absence of any pleading in relation to that, just in case meron, the court cannot act. But if it's not elevated,
Okay.
it should.
Sige, let's
There lies
pagka merong kaso na final, all the government has to do is just to file a manifestation before the Supreme Court to inform the court that the case has been filed and update the court of the status of that particular case filed in whatever court. That's another case. Hindi, ano bang kaso yung sinasabi? Since there is a TRO, then these 37 others impleaded as well? Oh. If they are parties to the case, then the TRO is also effective with regards to them.
They're covered by the order, but they're not mentioned in the petition. They're in the watch list order, but not part of the petition.
They are?
They're in the watch list order along with FG and Mrs. Arroyo, but in his petition, he was only...
Since this is a conditional TRO and only the couple, no, are being asked to comply with those conditions, then the TRO is only for them. Then if that is violated, then perhaps the government can manifest that to the court, and let's see what the court will do. Okay. The TRO is being drafted as of the moment. We're hoping that it can be released later this afternoon. So I think if there will be details to that effect, let's wait for that printed TRO. With regards to the Arroyos. Saan yun?
Your Honor, if we may, can we proceed, Your Honor, with the next videos, Your Honor?
Proceed. How long will that be?
This one, Your Honor, is for 23 minutes. We just presented the first 13 minutes of the video. If
the next video?
If Your Honor, we do not know the actual purpose. Is it to make it evident that the spokesman of the Supreme Court speak in the manner they wanted it? We do not know the purpose, Your Honor.
According to delegation of Article 7, respondent betrayed the public trust through his partiality in granting a temporary restraining order in favor of former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo and her husband, Jose Miguel Arroyo, in order to give them an opportunity to escape. You see, his partiality in granting a temporary restraining order. So,
but I'm sorry, Your Honor.
I do not know the purpose. The purpose, I suppose, is to show his partiality. So let us see.
Yeah, what will be noticed, Your Honor, is a video being played. Now, it's about 20 or 30 minutes, nothing of that sort had come out.
Actually,
there is not even a
actually, counsel, the video, to be fair, is talking about a TRO being considered in the Supreme Court. In fact, I heard the court administration say that it was being drafted.
The restraining order, Your Honor, but the resolution granting the same had been earlier issued.
The TRO, the TRO was being precisely, the whole process was under consideration.
Yes, Your Honor.
With conditions. So let us allow the witness to answer.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Can we?
I have to confess, Your Honor, I really cannot comprehend
Well,
the materiality of the evidence now being presented, Your Honor.
Let them present their case, and
you.
we'll see. Can we, Majority Floor Leader, can we suspend the...
Mr. President, just a 1 minute.
Yes, please.
Just a suggestion, Mr. President. Instead of us laboring to watch 23 minutes of a video which is not even properly produced and which is somewhat inaudible, may we request the prosecution to provide the senator judges, with the concurrence of my colleagues, with a transcript of this video so that we can appreciate it better?
Yes, Your Honor. We will do that.
So I personally, this video personally, I think would not be very relevant or material at this point. I do not know if you want to show the whole 30 minutes to us now.
No, Your Honor. We actually just presented 13 minutes. 13 minutes. And
it's
finished.
done.
It's done, Your Honor. We're just going to present two short videos, Your Honor. One is just 1 minute, and the other one, I think, is just a few seconds, Your Honor.
All right.
That is our point.
We will allow the video to be shown so that we'll finish with this matter. Proceed.
Nakipagpulong lamang po ako kay Justice Midas Marquez upang liwanagin po talaga sa kanya yung mga eksaktong termino, yung mga kondisyones po na iginawan ng ating kataas-taasang hukuman. At ngayon naman po, nakipagpulong lamang po ako kay Justice Midas Marquez upang liwanagin po talaga sa kanya yung mga eksaktong termino, yung mga kondisyones po na iginawan ng ating kataas-taasang hukuman. At ngayon naman po naliwanagan ko na po ay tinawagan ko na po at nakipag-usap na rin po ako sa aking kliyente upang siya po ay tumupad na sa mga kondisyon na yun. Papunta na po ang mga tao niya rito, dala na po yung cash bond na 2 milyong piso. Yung pong appointment ko bilang aking paghirang bilang kanyang kinatuan dito sa Pilipinas habang sila ay wala. At yun naman pong pangatlong kondisyon na sila ay magre-report sa konsulado natin pagdating.
Tapos na?
Your Honor, actually, it just looped.
Tapos na ba?
That's the same video, Your Honor, that just was...
tapos na yun.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yung next video, sige. Tapusin natin.
Akala ko yun yun. Ma'am, okay ka ba yan? Nandito na po, ma'am. Apo, nasa ba? Ayan, ito. Ano po yun, ma'am? Ito, ma'am. Wala pa dyan po eh. Sabi po ni Justice Marquez, pagkakaroon na lang po. Alawin mo na ka na humingi. Pwede ako humingi. Wala pa doon po. Pagkakaroon na lang po kay Justice Marquez ito, ma'am. Apo. Ano ba? Tulang. Sobra ba yan? Sobra. Puro pala ito. Di amin. Ay, teka, huwag naman dito. Halay naman. Muna tayo sa loob. Huwag muna ilabas yan. Kaya patingin ang dulong soup. Kaya tayo mabas mo lang. Bakit ano tayo? Pero discreet ka naman.
Your Honor, so those are just 3 videos, Your Honor. May I now proceed with the asking questions from the witness?
Wait a minute. What is the relevance of the third video?
Your Honor, that third video, Your Honor, showed the actual payment, the attempted payment at around 4:30, Your Honor, by the Council of GMA, Your Honor.
Between the first video and the third video, how long a time transpired?
Your Honor, the first video happened at around between 1:30 to 2:30, Your Honor. The second video, Your Honor, happened after the first video. The third video, Your Honor, happened around...
Yeah, of course, it happened after the
yes, Your Honor.
first video, but how long, what was the time interval?
According to the witness, Your Honor, it happened around 15 minutes or 30 minutes after he went down after the presentation, Your Honor, after the press conference. So the second video, Your Honor, wherein Attorney Topacio was saying that he spoke with Midas Marquez, happened at around 3 p.m. thereabout.
And then
he mentioned that he was...
But the third video was at 4 o'clock.
Yes, Your Honor, it happened at around 4:15, according to the watch of the
all right, before you examine the witness, let's... Majority Floor Leader?
Yes, Mr. President, before the examination of the witness, may we move for a 15-minute suspension of the trial?
Trial suspended for 15 minutes.
Good afternoon. Right now, we are just on a 15-minute recess here at the impeachment trial of Chief Justice Renato Corona for day 24. But so far, we've seen just simple testimonies from the witnesses of the prosecution, mostly to authenticate documents on Article 7. Now, earlier also, the impeachment court announced their decision not to invite Justice Maria Lourdes Sereno to testify for the prosecution. This was announced by Presiding Officer Juan Ponce Enrile and supported by several senator judges who actually reprimanded the prosecution for their request. Enrile also suggested that the prosecution themselves invite Sereno, especially after the prosecution admitted to the court that they actually had not talked to Justice Sereno yet. This after Senator Trillanes withdrew his motion to ask for an interrogatory to be sent to Justice Sereno, and we are not sure yet why this was withdrawn, but this is a developing story for now. Now, Enrile also reiterated the court's decision not to allow Philippine Airlines Vice President of Sales to testify, saying that the complaint of the prosecution is weak. So this is closed. It seems to be a closed argument. This was a last-ditch effort for the prosecution to see if he could testify, but Enrile said no. Now, also, we saw several witnesses for the prosecution, and as I mentioned, they merely authenticated documents today. First, we had Dr. Juliet Cervantes, who is the attending physician of former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. She authenticated the medical records submitted to the Supreme Court on October 1st, 2011, and these records were used by the Supreme Court during the deliberations for the issuance of a TRO allowing GMA, or the former president, to travel. We also saw Chief Administration Officer of the Office of the Vice President, Emma Abanador, who also took the stand. She authenticated documents regarding appointments made by the former president for Corona. Now, we are now currently on the stand during this break is ABS-CBN News cameraman Edward Liosala, who also authenticated a video that he took at the Supreme Court of a Supreme Court spokesperson, Midas Marquez, on November 15, 2011. In this video was taken around 1 to 2 p.m., and in this video, Midas Marquez said there were still 3 conditions to be fulfilled for the TRO to be applicable. Now, in that press conference, he said all these conditions, but later that night, Arroyo had tried to travel, saying the TRO was already in effect. Now, just to remind you, Article 7, which alleges partiality of Corona in granting a TRO in favor of GMA. Currently, there is a press conference going, so stay tuned with us as we lead you there. Let's hear what they have to say.
That is already decided upon, hindi na po natin yan mababago. Yan po ay napagkasunduan ng mayorya. Pero yung circumstansya o mga sinabi po ni Justice Sereno sa kanyang dissenting opinion are the events surrounding. Yung events, ano yung mga pangyayari na nakakabahala para sa kanya, na kung papaano yung spokesperson, ibang-iba yung inanunsyo doon sa nangyari sa NBank, at kung paano na bago ng isang suspensive, nung simula na pagkasunduan, ito yung suspensive yung condition. Ibig sabihin, i-comply muna yung 3 kondisyon bago i-implement or bago maging effective yung TRO, ay ipakikita po with the subsequent witnesses na binago po nila ito at naging resolutory. So, malinaw po para sa amin that even without Justice Sereno being present, yung kanyang mga statements doon patungkol sa events kung paano binago sa pagtutulak na rin ni Chief Justice, yung announcement ni Attorney Midas Marquez, uncontroverted yon. Walang ibang justice na pinabulaanan yung kanyang mga sinabi patungkol doon at patungkol na rin doon sa pagsusuppress noong kanyang dissenting opinion kung paano ito ayaw ipilit ilabas. Siguro kung may dadagdag si Congressman Nery Colmenares.
Well, yun, on that issue sa kay Justice Sereno lang muna, Dalawa ang nabago ni Chief Justice Corona doon sa alegasyon namin. Una, doon sa November 15, yung logical na kondisyon na ito pa rin muna bago ka lumipad na actually nabanggit ni Maidas Marquez initially. Although nagpalit na siya ng istorya nung gabing yun. Ano? Pangalawa, yung November 18 naman na ang sabi ng Korte Suprema noon, hindi pala na substantially complied with yung second condition, yung SPA, kung kaya hindi effective yung TRO. Nag-agree naman doon yung 7 justices, pero ang sabi nila, sabi ng isa at least, wag na lang natin isabihin. Ngayon ang lumabas, as per announcement ni Attorney Maidas Marquez at yung resolution na inisyo ng Chief Justice, effective yung TRO, kahit ganun ang desisyon ng November 18. So basically ganun, part yan ng distortion, yun ang pinapakita ng video kanina. At napansin nyo, sinasabi ni Attorney Topacio, nakikipag-coordinate ako kay Attorney Maidas Marquez. Kausap ko siya, tapos nang nagbabayad siya ng pera, nag-usap na kami, banggit kay Maidas. So, part rin yan ng pag-prove namin sa allegation na may coordination talagang nangyayari. At yung third, of course, yung sinabi ni Attorney Maidas Marquez, na nabanggit along the way sa video, na ginagawa pa lang yung TRO. So, under the internal rules of the Supreme Court, bawal yun eh. Hindi mo pwedeng i-announce, i-publicize yung isang desisyon hanggat hindi na release ang desisyon. In fact, ang reason naman nun, una, syempre, malay mo, mali ang sinabi mo, mali ang lumabas doon sa TRO. Basically, yun yung isang allegation namin. So for the video, mas yun ang pinapatunayan namin. At ang dugtong ko lang, ang poder ni Chief Justice Corona, nabanggit kanina ni Justice Cuevas, anong kinalaman ni Justice Corona dito? Malaki. Siya ang Chief Justice, siya ang nagsasabi kay Attorney Maidas Marquez, anong sasabihin mo? Anong resulta ng botohan? Wala si Attorney Maidas Marquez sa loob. It's an internal deliberation ng 13 justices. So, only he alone could have instructed Maidas Marquez those points. So, basically, yun ang sa video na aspect.
Well, kung i-decide namin ay present yung Article 1, pwedeng judicial notice na rin yun. Kasi karamihan ng ebidensya doon ay Supreme Court decisions na ang puntos po namin is that naging naging partial o kaya kinilingan ni Chief Justice Corona si President Arroyo sa halos lahat ng kaso. I think there are over 15 cases na kinampihan niya. Wala siyang kaso na hindi bumoto po para kay sa pabor kay Ginang Arroyo. So wrap up lang po natin.
May dugtong lang ako.
Sige,
yung problem natin lang doon, tama, kasi kung mag-testify sana siya, yung first thing to do is of course authenticate yung kanyang dissent. No? Parang yan, official yan. Pangalawa, sasabihin niya rin na personal knowledge siya. Kasi yun ang kiniklaim sa dating witness wala ka naman doon, wala kang personal knowledge. Sasabihin niya ang personal knowledge niya on those events. At pangatlo, yung circumstances surrounding. Malagang testimony yan. Kung ano ang alam niya. So, kung hindi siya mag-testify, hindi maipresenta yung dalawang nahuli. So, importante sa amin talaga na makapag-testify si Justice Sereno. Yung yung promulgation ng dissent niya, yung suppression, importante yun eh. Sabi nga dito, alam nyo sa February 14, dugtong ko lang nga itong February 14 Valentine's Day resolution ng Korte Suprema, nabanggit doon na concurring lahat ng justices. Pero napunta ako sa website ng Korte Suprema kanina, dissenting pala may dissenting At si Justice Sereno, isang dissenting. And in fact, Justice Carpio was not fully concurring. He has reservations. No? So, very important yan. At sabi doon, culpable violation ng Constitution nga yan pag sinusuppress mo ang dissent ng isang kapwa mong justice.
So, wrap up lang tayo para klaro, no? November 15, Tuesday ho yun. Ang sinabi po yung unang video ni spokesperson Marquez, sinasabi niya conditional po itong TRO. May 3 kondisyones, yung 2 kondisyones kailangan i-fulfill bago makaalis po si Ginang Arroyo. Yung 3rd condition na magre-report po siya sa konsulado ay i-fulfill pagdating niya po sa patutunguhan po niya. And yet, makikita natin noong November 18, nag-meet ulit yung mga justices, hindi pa po na-fulfill yung mga kondisyones na yon. Particularly yung pag-a-appoint po ng isang tao na tatanggap po ng abiso o summons galing sa korte, and yet sinabi na po ng korte na pwede na pong umalis si Mrs. Arroyo. So yun po ang tanungin po natin sa ating sarili, sino pong ang makakapag permit ng mga ganyang klaseng pangyayari? Paano po nangyari yun? The only conclusion is it could have come from the top ho. Kasi wala nang ibang panggagalingan ho yan. Ang ini-expect po namin ngayon ay sasabihin ng depensa, ay si spokesperson Marquez lang ho yan. Walang kinalaman ho si Chief Justice Corona dyan. We expect them to say that in the coming hours, maybe in the coming days, para parang tila malihis ulit yung usapan kay Chief Justice Corona. And yet, nakita naman ho natin, on every single occasion, ay may authority naman ho si spokesperson Marquez to speak for Chief Justice Corona.
Kung Neri, question lang po. Kanina po, bago po simula po yung pagsalang ng testigo, medyo nabakbakan yata uli yung prosek. Tapos may binabanggit pa si Senator Miriam Defensor Santiago na may miyembro daw ng prosekusyon na lying under oath. Ano po masasabi?
Actually, hindi ko tinitira na bakbak yon kasi nasagot niyan naman squarely. Ang sabi ni Senator Santiago, may privilege talaga, executive, legislative, tsaka judiciary. May mga confidential talaga dyan. So ang aming sagot doon hindi naman namin sinasabing wala eh. Ang sinasabi lang namin, hindi mo pwedeng gawing absoluto yon na halos na pati ang pag-ebidensya na walang kinalaman sa deliberasyon. Kasi yun naman ang privilege eh. Hindi pwedeng i-disclose sa publiko ang deliberasyon, for example, say ng Supreme Court, kasi it will provide a chilling effect doon sa kanilang deliberasyon pag alam nila ba, malaman ng publiko, pro-mining pala ako, so ayaw ko magsalita. Example lang yun. But doon sa sinabi namin, hindi absolute yun. And in fact, yung pangalawang punto na anong mangyayari sa atin, may collision course tayo, actually it was the Supreme Court who placed itself in the collision course, in collision with the Senate eh. Kung baga siya talagang bumangga, inaunahan niya na eh. At pangalawa, tinry na actually ng Senado yon. Nabanggit ko nga yung Executive Order 464 na inimpose ni Ginang Gloria Arroyo noon na bawal ang lahat ng ebidensya, lahat ng testimony ng cabinet members, bawal. Challenge siya ng Senado at sabi ng Senado, hindi pwede yon. Dapat matuloy ang investigation sa Hello Garci tapes o sa NBN-CTE deal. Siyempre, may pangamba ba doon na pwedeng magka-crisis kasi executive tsaka legislative, pero giniit ng Senado yung kanyang karapatan at nilabanan yung ganong EO 464. Kung kaya sa akin naman, kung tingin mo naman nasa tama ka, I don't think naman na hahantong tayo doon, basta panindigan din lang ng impeachment court ang kanyang poder.
Dagdag lang ho, yung alalahanin po natin, it's not the first time kung sakasakali na dinefy po nung impeachment court yung utos po o yung resolution po ng Korte Suprema paukol dito sa judicial privilege. It won't be the first time ho. Alalahanin po natin nung issue ng SALN, meron din resolution po ang Supreme Court. And yet, the Senate Impeachment Court, in the exercise of its authority, sinapina pa rin ang mga dokumento. In this case, the Statement of Assets and Liabilities po ni Chief Justice Corona in defiance po of the existing resolution of the Supreme Court.
Sir, short answer lang. In fact, nalala ko doon sa resolution ng Korte Suprema sa SALN, correct me if I'm wrong, tiniyaro niya yung lahat, dollar and peso. Pansinin niyo yung kanyang resolutory dispositive portion. Tiyaro lahat. Ang ginawa ng Senado, tinuloy niya yung sa peso. That is already in direct contravention of the TRO of the Supreme Court, di ba? Na sabi ng Korte Suprema, hindi pwedeng buksan yon, the whole account, dollar at saka peso. Pero sabi ng Senado, yung dollar may may batas yun, yung peso allowed kami dyan. So tuloy yung peso account.
Sir, umikot na naman yung, after nagsalita si Senator Miriam kanina, umikot na naman yung mga messages na may plano ng mag-walk out ang prosecution. Gaano katotoo at kailan?
Objection leading to the first and no basis for the second.
So, hindi sa March 21, mag-walkout ho kami. Bakasyon na kasi nun eh.
Hindi, walang ganun katotohanan. Tulad ng sinabi namin, kung may mga nagsasabi po niyan, ay siguro yung mga taong sympathetic din sa amin, na nakikita din na may mga pagkakataon din. And we repeat, no? And we say it openly, not to criticize, but there are occasions that we also feel like that we are unfairly treated by the senators. And we have not, hindi namin tinatago yan, parati namin sinasabi yan, pero tinatanggap po namin ang proseso. Hindi po tulad ng defense na oras po na merong adverse finding po dito, ay diretso po sila sa Korte Suprema. Sabi ko nga po, kanina, napakatagal po ng deliberasyon. Ang sinasabi lang naman po ni Congressman Neri ng Bayan Muna is that we're not asking the Senate to be in collision course with the Supreme Court. Ayaw po natin yon. Ang ayaw lang po natin at nakakalimutan po ng marahil ay may mga kaunti pang hindi nakabasa, but the Valentine's Day resolution of the Supreme Court, kung dati po pinapayagan, usapin po ng rolyo, pinapayagan po nila for the parties, open ho yan. Yung rolyo, yan po yung essentially yung minutes, yung mga pinag-usapan ho dyan, deliberation, pero hindi po kasama dyan yung deliberations nila. Pangalawa po doon ay dati po pwede ang usapin ng raffle. Kung ano nangyari sa raffle, kanino ba napunta, bakit siya nag-inhibit, napunta rito. Pwede ho yun. In fact, may 2 cases lang dyan sa pagkakaalala ko na hindi po pwede is raffle patungkol sa bar matters, or pangalawa kapag death penalty dahil ito nga ay maaaring maging delikado yung buhay ng justice na magdi-decide dito. So, but the 14 February, the Valentine's Day resolution completely obliterated all those exceptions. Ngayon, kahit hindi po yung may patungkol lang sa deliberation ng isang resolution o isang judgment, hindi na lamang yung po ang ipinagbabawal, kundi pati po yung kahit sino mismong testigo. We look at that day really as a step backwards by the Supreme Court against transparency. Dahil kung dati po ay nahihirapan na po tayo, iniilawan na po natin ang Korte Suprema, ang nangyari po dyan sa resolution na yan ay tila humakbang patalikod ang Supreme Court para lamang po mapangalagaan o maproteksyonan ng ating Chief Justice.
To cut to the chase, Congressman Colmenares, why don't you just follow on the proposal of Senate President Enrile to present Justice Sereno as your witness? She's your strongest witness, and what's preventing you from presenting her?
Yes, actually, we will do that. Pero we just hope na siya, willing siya mag-testify. Pero tingin ko po, let's be frank na rin.
Meaning you haven't
The Senate has the power. Ano po?
You mean you haven't approached her at all?
Kami po hindi eh. Hindi po ako nag-approach sa kanya. Pero ang punto po dito is this. Bakit natin may poder ang Senate sa Senado, sa Konstitusyon? Bakit natin i-vacate yan for the convenience na ang prosecution, puntahan nyo na lang siya. Sa akin, kung may karapatan ka, i-assert mo. Hindi pwedeng, magpa-ano ka na lang, magpa-gilid-gilid ka na lang. So, sa akin, we will still try to do that, but it's very proper that the accountability mechanism of the impeachment must not be destroyed by any claim to confidentiality. Otherwise, all the next impeachments will be nothing. The executive will claim confidentiality, the judiciary will claim confidentiality, wala lang itatry ang impeachment court. Buenas na tao si Chief Justice Corona. Tayo pwedeng kasuhan araw-araw, siya hindi, immune siya. Only way to make him accountable is impeachment. If the moment that impeachment cannot make him accountable just because he said that confidential lahat ng dokumento natin, I don't think we should allow that. As a matter of principle, we should assert that.
Iliwanagin lang natin yung doctrines of privilege, yung judicial privilege. Kasi hindi pa napag-uusapan masyado yan sa Korte Suprema ng Pilipinas. I think the first case for executive privilege, yung case of Neri, Secretary Neri, yung ZTE case. Tapos itong Valentine Resolution na binanggit po ni Rep. Kimbo, that's the first time nabanggit po yung judicial privilege. Pero nanggaling po yan sa Estados Unidos. At kinikilala po doon na hindi po absolute o hindi total yung pribilehiyong yon. Kasi dito parang pinapalabas po ng Korte Suprema na merong trapal dyan Parang there's a firewall, there's a dragnet na talagang hindi ka pwedeng lumabas dyan. Hindi ka pwedeng magsalita. But that's not the case po. Yung pinanggalingan po ng doktrinang yan sa US, ay sa Estados Unidos, ay sinasabi qualified privilege po yan. Meron pong mga okasyon na hindi dapat gamitin po yan. Ano po yung okasyon na yon? One occasion is when there are allegations of official wrongdoing po, which is swak na swak dito sa kaso natin We are alleging that the Chief Justice misused his authority po dito sa sa kaso ng pag-issue ng TRO kay Ginang Arroyo. Nakikita na po natin, hindi pa na-fulfill yung kondisyones, and yet, pinayagan na pong umalis. So yun po, an exception po. Those records, dapat makita po natin yan kasi these are allegations of official wrongdoing. Ang sinasabi po natin, hindi po sinunod yung patakaran at binigyan po ng espesyal na pagtrato o special treatment ang isang litigant.
Dagdagan ko lang as we speak, in fact, we will invite Justice Sereno. We will do that. Pero ang sinasabi po natin, na madalas po nating sinasabi ay, meron na pong February 14 resolution ng Supreme Court na hindi practically, binabawalan expressly ang kanilang mga miyembro hanggat walang permiso galing sa NBank. So, ibig sabihin po natin, sa harap po ng ganyan, minarapat po natin na idaan po natin sa proseso that the only way for any member of the judiciary or the Supreme Court for that matter to actually come over dito sa atin, the only way is for the Senate to issue the subpoena because that will cover that individual from any repercussions emanating from that February 14 resolution of the Supreme Court. So, minarapat namin, kung kami lang willing naman kaming imbitahin yon. Pero in the face of that February 14 resolution, alam na namin na it was going to be a useless exercise because there was no compelling reason anymore for any of the justices to actually go against, in our minds, an arbitrary and illegal resolution of the Supreme Court. Pag-uusapan namin as to kung papaano, pero obviously at this point in time talagang pakiusap na lang ang maaari. Wala naman kaming compulsion, hindi naman namin sila pwedeng pilitin. Tulad ng ibang mga testigo, hanggat walang subpoena, it will be voluntary on their part.
Personal yung kakausapin si Justice na mag-testify?
We will invite her as an impeachment panel of prosecutors. Hindi personal, pero pag-uusapan namin bilang grupo ano yung pinakamagandang pamamaraan para makumbinsi po natin yung testigong yon, magpakita rito at maisiwalat po niya yung nilalaman ng kanyang dissenting opinion.
Made an approach at all? I'm sorry to put you on the spot, Congressman, but I find it hard to believe na not one of you made an approach to her.
Ako po talagang matagal na debate yan sa Article 7 legal team eh. Kasi ang sabi dati ni Senate President Enrile, kausapin niyo mga witness nyo. Ang iba, ang Supreme Court, we were thinking pasukin talaga. Vidal, Anama, Justice Sereno, lahat yan. But after a long debate, ang majority kasi sa legal team namin nagsabi, wag na. Kasi ano yan, hostile environment ng Supreme Court, taka baka sabihin pa na we're trying to force them or you know. So anyway, there's that. So hindi talaga namin, I have to be frank, hindi namin ini-expect na hindi isusubpina ng impeachment court. Talagang gulantang kami doon sa ano. But bilang as it may, nandyan na. Ngayon, may February 14 resolution, dagdag na problema sa amin yon. Kasi alam niyo bakit? Kahit may subpina ang Korte Suprema, ang February 14 resolution ng Korte Suprema, nagtitreten sa justice. Na kahit ikaw ay, isubpina o invite, hindi ka pwedeng pumunta hanggat hindi ka payagan ng Korte Suprema. Pwede talagang major battle na yung hurdle na yung dahil sa February 14 eh. Kaya kanina pinapaliwanag namin kay Senate President na grabe itong February 14 resolution. Talagang almost practically wala ka nang mahita na ebidensya sa Senado. But we will see if we can get evidence still despite the February 14 resolution.
Forgive me for this mischievous question, Congressman, but have you not asked the help of Malacanang of President Aquino himself to quote the words of somebody else na nasa team nyo naman yan? Nakausapin ni Presidente Aquino o Justice Sereno, tulungan mo ang prosecution.
Yeah, we'll answer that.
We're still on direct examination of the witness.
The prosecution may now proceed. Okay.
May we proceed, Your Honor? Mr. Witness, nakita niya po kanina yung video number 1, which was previously marked as Octopol T. This is the video of the press briefing of Supreme Court spokesperson Midas Marquez. Ano po ang relasyon nito sa video na nabanggit nyo kanina na kinunan po ninyo?
Ang relasyon po nun ay yun po ay press con about sa statement po. About sa statement po ni Atty. Midas.
Opo, nabanggit nyo po kanina na may video kayo kinunan. Ano ang relasyon nito doon sa video na, na pinakita po natin kanina?
Pareho naman po siya.
Bakit niyo po alam na pareho lang po yung video na yon sa binanggitin yung video kanina?
Bali, ako po kasi sir ang nag-roll ng video na yon. Ako po ang kumuha.
May naririnig po ako ng mga nagsasalita sa video na to. Sino ho yung nagsasalita sa video po na ito?